Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Mezco Toyz 1/12 Collective, The Blank from Dick Tracy. And I'm so ecstatic that I got this figure. This figure is an exclusive to Mezco, and it came out last year, and the day it went up for pre-order, their website had an issue. It kept crashing, and I was not able to pre-order this figure because of that. And then it was sold out instantly, and I was super bummed, because I've gotten all the other Dick Tracy figures from Mezco. So yeah, I put in for the pre-order or the wish list, and then it just got fulfilled like a month ago. And they took payment, and then he showed up maybe 2 or 3 days ago. So man, I got lucky. I hope if you guys had the same problem I did, you're able to get him as well, because it kind of stinks. Their website has issues quite often with exclusives, and it's really frustrating. But here we are. If you don't got them and you want them, maybe my video can help you guys at least see them. But yeah, super cool. And this is based off of the Chester Gould artwork, the comic from the 30s, and not the Dick Tracy movie from 1990. But I will say that 1990 movie is what got me into Dick Tracy. I mean, I was like, I think 13. So the summer before we had Batman 89, and then we had Dick Tracy the year after. What a great time to be alive. For being a kid like I was. And so that got me into Dick Tracy. So yeah, anyways, look at this packaging. It's very 30s looking. You have some of the cool comic strip with Tracy and the blank. And then there's the exclusive logo. And then on the side, you get more of the blank. On the back, you see that with his switchblade. That's a really cool spotlight picture. I like that one a lot. And then on the top, you have this. And on the bottom, you've got this. And as you can see, Mezco 1/12 Collective is for ages 18 and up. It's not for children. And there is a choking hazard, not for children under 3 years because of small parts. So yeah, let's get this guy unboxed and take a closer look. All right, and here is the blank and everything it comes with. I gotta say, these Dick Tracy figures come with a lot of accessories, which I love accessories. And for the most part, Mezco does a great job of giving accessories. So super cool. We'll go through all this stuff individually. But one thing I wanna focus on is the cool base. And out of all the 1/12 companies, Mezco is one of the only ones that gives a really cool base like that. Most 1/12 scale figures get a generic clear base or a black base or something like that, but Mezco goes all out and does a cool job with their bases for displaying your figures. And then it comes with a flight stand, which you probably won't use for Dick Tracy figures. You might, but it always comes with one. And then the 1/12 poly bag. So if you don't want to keep the packaging, you can put all the accessories in this bag, which is always a nice touch. And then here's the other accessories. Comes with quite a bit. He has a shotgun, and the shotgun, it does pump. This does pump. It doesn't have a brake, but it does pump, which is nice. And then there's a smoke effect, which fits into all 3 weapons. You have a switchblade, which actually folds. See if we can do this. It's kind of difficult, it's so small. But it actually folds up, which is pretty cool. And then it opens up. So cool switchblade. And then he has, like, if I zoom in, a Beretta. It looks like some type of Beretta. I think Tracy has that same gun. And then he has a revolver. And the barrel does spin in that revolver. And then he has 11 hands. So the 2 fists that come on the figure. And then he has 3 trigger finger hands. 2 right ones. I think one of them is to hold the shotgun, I believe. And then he has 2 grasping hands, and then 2 hands that will probably like hold the knife, the switchblade. And then you've probably seen, if you have Mezco figures, these blast effect pieces. They're a reuse, but cool, it comes with it. And then he comes with the leather trench coat, the overcoat, which I'm hoping fits him good, because the blank needs this coat. If you're gonna look at have an accurate blank, you gotta have the trench coat. And then the white scarf, which I love that these Tracy figures come with scarves. I think him and Pruneface. And it goes around the neck. It's super cool looking. Nice 30s gangster looking. And then there is the fedora, which does fit both heads. And speaking of heads, I'm so glad they included the Frank Red Rum head. So, in the Dick Tracy movie in 1990, spoiler alert, the blank is Breathless Mahoney, Madonna's character. They kind of changed it up. But in the original cartoon is this guy, Frank Red Rum, which Red Rum backwards is murder. But his face got disfigured when he was escaping prison. You see his nose is like toast. So that kind of lets his cheesecloth mask fit over his face flat. But, you get the kind of the family opera look here, which during that time period, man, family opera, that whole thing was really popular, Lon Chaney. So you kind of have that same look. And we'll put this head on, but man, that is a great head sculpt, and I'm so glad Mezco included it. And then they also have the dynamite bomb, which Flat Top came with. I will say I looked at both of them. This is the same mold as the Flat Top one, but it's painted differently. It's a little more bright red, and the timer has a green ring around it. Flat Tops was a little different. So same mold, but they just kind of painted it. And then last but not least, here is the blank. And the face is awesome, man. It's perfect. It is perfect. And it's cut in one, that its neck and head is all one, which is good. There's no reason not to with this type of look. But I think that looks fantastic. I'm not used to seeing his hair because he always has his fedora on, but his hair looks cool. Love how it's buzzed short and back. Yeah. And then he has a green and black tie. The suit, I don't think can unbutton. I believe it is sewn. It looks like it's stitched, so I'm not going to mess with it. Unfortunately, it's not buttons. They have fake buttons on, as you can see. Probably, glued on. But I'm not going to mess with it. And I love how he has the green gloves. That's a cool look. And then there's the pants, and there's the shoes. The shoes have a nice look as well. Yeah. Super cool. So let's go over articulation. Typical Mezco, the head and neck is one. So he can look down pretty good and look up pretty good. Of course, turn his head all sorts of ways. He can go up, his arms can go up almost 90, not quite. With the suit, you get a little restriction, but not bad. There's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then ball hinge wrists that all Mezco figures have. As far as torso, there is an upper torso ball joint, and then the lower torso at the waist ball joint. But he really can't bend forward too far or back. He doesn't bend a lot. But you're not going to do a lot of dynamic poses with these figures, I don't think, Dick Tracy figures. Maybe he's getting punched or something. Maybe you do something dynamic then, but otherwise not too much. And then the legs go up almost 90. And then double jointed knees, like all Mezco figures have. Is there a thigh rotation? Yeah, there's a thigh cut as well. And then the feet are on, I think, ball hinge or ball peg. A little rocker. Actually, a pretty good rocker, because Mezco's ankle rocker usually isn't very good. But this one's not too bad. As you can see there, it goes in pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Let's try changing the head out. I'm going to be careful because the neck is one piece. Whenever you have a one-piece neck and a shirt like this, there's a chance for the shirt to get kind of stuck. So I'm going to do this off camera and let you know if I have any issues. Okay, and there's the Frank Red Rum head. It went on pretty good. Yeah, it didn't have any problem with the collar, which is good. Just be careful when you pop it on because that collar could get in the way and you can kind of smash the collar if you're not careful. I mean, I won't use this head sculpt when I'm displaying him just because that's not what you normally see, but I'm so glad Mezco decided to include another sculpt. Because he's the blank, there's not a lot you can do with this as far as emotion. So you're not going to get 3 or 4 head sculpt out of this figure. They could have cheaped out and just done this, but good on them to give you the Frank Red Rum. And then the hat, it does fit on his head. He almost looks like shoulders from the movie, Dick Tracy movie. I feel like the fedora looks a tad bit big on this head. Let me just zoom in though and give you guys a good look. That smile they have going on with him is fantastic. Yeah, this head sculpt is, man, top notch. He looks like a 30s gangster with a pig nose. Oh man, so cool. All right, let's try a cool pose here. Okay, here's Frank Red Rum with the switchblade and his leather jacket on with the scarf. And I have some negatives about this. It's mainly the coat, and this is like the same coat that Tote came with from Indiana Jones. This is going to break over time. It's cheap leather. It's thin, and it's too tight. It doesn't look too bad, but I'll show you the prune face coat and compare the two. And oh my goodness, the prune face coat's so much better. I feel like Mezco's cheaped out a bit with some of their material here recently. I don't know why they changed this coat from what prune face has. And just for the fact that maybe this is supposed to be a leather coat, so they use the fake leather. I would have much preferred the other coat, but regardless, this is a pretty cool look. Very scary, Phantom of the Opera style. You know, got this knife. He's like slowly stalking someone from behind in a dark, gloomy night. Tracy's nowhere to be seen, and boy, that could be dangerous for someone. We're going to go from here on out, though, with the blank face. But I just wanted to kind of show you how creepy you could make Frank Redrum look with this. Awesome. All right, here's a bit of a different pose with a shotgun. And yeah, it gives you two hands to use. And I think this one's designed for the shotgun specifically. There's two right-hand trigger finger hands. And that one's designed to hold the shotgun that way, in case you want to like have them looking like that. Yeah, pretty cool. And I said that this is a pump action shotgun. The pump does work. There's just no break in the shotgun. It'd be cool if there was and it came with slugs. That'd be neat. But that's actually a pretty cool look right there. I love the green band around the fedora and the green gloves. It kind of makes the character pop. And the green and black tie. Very cool color palette with this figure. Okay, and here he is with the time bomb and also the revolver and the smoke. I wish Mezco would give a couple smoke effects, one going straight up, because this is designed to have the smoking barrel, like the gun's pointed still. And with this trench coat on, you really can't get a good straight arm for the shot. Maybe if you mess with it quite a bit, but I'm just afraid this coat's gonna, man, break, crack already. It's just not the best material, and there's no wire in it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these fake leather coats they're giving a couple of these figures here recently. Aesthetically, it looks pretty good. It looks like a leather coat, but I just know over time what's going to happen to it. But yeah, there's that gun. It looks really cool. And then this is the same hand I use with the shotgun. So it does work with that one. And then the other hand works better with the smaller pistol. Like I said, I think it's like a Beretta or something like that. I don't know. There's no slide. Nothing works on this gun. It's so little. Oh, maybe the clip comes out. I think the clip might come out. Let's see here. No, the clip is molded in. So that doesn't come out. And then you can also use, like, you know, this effect as well. The kablam effect. If I can even get this to go in. Wow, that's tough, man. Actually, yeah, it does work. And it has, you could turn it. It's got the bullet on the end. So, kind of cool. And then this bigger one you might want to use maybe for the shotgun. Like it's a bigger blast. Although it's a bullet, not a slug, so that doesn't really work, right? Yeah, it doesn't really work because of the bullet. But, I mean, they're nitpicking there. But yeah, I mean, the weapons are pretty cool. I think aesthetically the figure looks awesome. That's one of the cool things about Dick Tracy. Much like Batman and Spider-Man, the Rogues Gallery is top-notch. And I think you could, you know, you could say these were Batman villains as well. They really play off each other very well. And we'll go over a couple different figures to put with this guy to show you. But yeah, pretty cool. Apart from the leather jacket, I like this figure a lot. It's a good figure. I'm just not sold that jacket's going to hold up over time, unfortunately. But overall, it looks good. See, you can't pull it. Saw how tight it is. I can't pull it up far enough in the back to kind of get over his neck. It's sitting too low. Aesthetically, it looks bad from the back. And that bums me out. They're too tight. Same problem with Tote from Indiana Jones. The coat was too tight. So Mezco, if you happen to watch this video, please make the coats better. Use the prune face coat. That coat's top notch. Let's do some comparisons. All right, here's the blank next to prune face on the left and flat top on the right. And Man, I love getting this rogues gallery of Dick Tracy villains brought out. You know, even Pruneface's scarf is of better quality. Mezco has definitely dropped the quality on their figures here with some of this material they're using now. It's hard to see, but this scarf that he has on, it lays more natural and it's a better quality material. Whereas this is just, I don't know what this is. It's just not very good quality. But look at that prune face, and he's got wire running throughout his coat. This prune face is probably the best of the bunch. Flat Top's my favorite Dick Tracy character, but I think the prune face turned out the best. It's so good. So good. Regardless, I am super happy to have these figures. Let me throw in Dick Tracy as well. All right, so here's the 4 Dick Tracy figures that Mezco has made so far. Hoping they have more. They have the license. No more have been revealed since the blank, but there's so many more villains. They can make a couple heroes too. There's a lot they could do with this license, so I hope they continue it. And if not, I got the 4. I'm really happy that I got these guys. These were a 2-pack. Great release. All of these are great releases. Let's do a couple different comparisons real quick. Okay, and here we have on the right Golden Age Joker, which fits in great with Dick Tracy and that whole same motif looking. 30s look. Looks great. And then on the left here is Muff Toyz, Protector of Metropolis, I think he was called, which is, Clark Kent. And that's a third-party release, but, same type of time period. Man, I might actually put all these figures together on the same shelf because just the era they have, they look like they're from the same era, which is really cool. All right, let's wrap this up. All right, so was this release from Mezco Toyz, the blank? Is it worth it? Well, he's 112, which if you look at Pruneface was 95. And I feel like this figure should be at that same price, especially with inferior quality material like this coat and that scarf. But I think because it was an exclusive to Mezco is why it was more money, I believe. That or it's, we moved into 2025 and this figure, even though it came out end of last year, it's, maybe price increased, whatever. I think it's because, though, he was an exclusive. So 112, is he worth it? Well, I don't know. You have to be a really big Dick Tracy fan, a big blank fan, because I'm just not crazy about some of the material they use. That coat, which he needs to have on, in my opinion, to be the blank, is going to break down probably pretty quick. We'll see. I'll probably do a revisit video on this guy a couple years from now if I still have him. I mean, I'll still have him, but I'll do a revisit video and see how it looks. But I'm going to display him in my cabinet kind of like this, maybe a different pose, but for me, it's worth it. I'm glad I have it. That rounds out my Dick Tracy collection from Mezco Toyz as of right now. Like I said, he's hard to find. I don't know what he's going for on eBay. I haven't checked. But as of right now, and this is April of 2025, he's up still for wish list on Mezco Toyz. And again, that's how I got him. I got in the wish list in August of last year, and it got fulfilled like beginning of March. So you never know. I've had a few wait lists come through with Mezco. Not many, but a few. So you can always try that route if you want this guy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like Dick Tracy? Do you like the Chester Gould look? What do you think about this Frank Redrum head sculpt? I think that is awesome. And as I said, I won't display him with this because everyone knows the blank looking like that. I think it's fantastic. And for toy photography, this is a great look to use. So cool. Love it. So let me know what you guys think. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, this has been Mezco Toyz 112th Collective, The Blank. Thanks for watching.